Ever lay in bed about to fall asleep and bam?
Yeah.
You remember that perfect comeback you should have said hours ago? Where does that come from, right? That kind of stuff always makes me wonder, what's really going on under the surface? Well, today we are diving into the power of your subconscious mind. Hmm. This book explores that hidden world within us, and let me tell you, it is mind-blowing. So in this deep dive, we'll unpack some of the key takeaways and see if we can unlock some of that power ourselves. Sound good? All right, so the book kicks off talking about the conscious and the subconscious mind. You can think of it like an iceberg. You know, the conscious mind, the part we are aware of, that it's just the tip. But underneath the surface, there is this massive, powerful subconscious mind. The book calls it the big me. And get this, it's actually running the show most of the time.
Hmm.
Crazy, right? One of the coolest examples in the book is about the famous opera singer Caruso. Apparently, this guy suffered from terrible stage fright, like full-on panic attacks before every performance. But here's the thing, he still managed to deliver incredible performances. So how did he do it? Well, the book says that he learned to tap into his subconscious mind, convincing himself over and over that he could do it. Pretty amazing, huh? Really makes you wonder what we could all achieve if we could learn to harness that same power. We overcome our own fears and anxieties, the stuff that holds us back, you know. Anyway, the book then goes on to describe the subconscious mind as a book of life. What a powerful image, right? Basically, it means that whatever we write in this book through our thoughts, beliefs, imaginations, it all becomes our reality. And the author isn't just theorizing here. He shares a personal story about healing a serious skin condition, a malignancy no less, just through prayer and working with his subconscious. Now, if our subconscious can impact our physical health like that, it really makes you wonder what else is possible. But there's a catch. The subconscious mind, it doesn't discriminate. It accepts everything we feed it, the good, the bad, the ugly. So if we're constantly bombarding it with negative thoughts and beliefs, well, guess what? That's what we're going to manifest in our lives. The book actually shares this kind of chilling example of a man who was constantly being told that his arm was going to wither away. And you want to know what it actually did? I mean, it's pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
But it really drives home the point that our beliefs can have a powerful impact on our reality. And it's not just our physical health either. The book argues that negative autosuggestions, those negative things we tell ourselves, they can totally sabotage our success and happiness. There's this story about a talented young singer. She completely bombed her performance because she kept telling herself she was going to mess up. It's like her subconscious mind is always listening and taking notes. So what can we do about it? Well, the power of your subconscious mind really emphasizes the power of positive affirmations and visualization. There's this inspiring story about a young man who desperately wanted to be a doctor. He had no money, no connections, just this burning desire. So every night, he would visualize himself as a doctor, picture his diploma on the wall, even practice cleaning and shining diplomas in the medical building where he worked as a janitor. And guess what? Years later, he actually became a doctor. It really makes you think, right? What could we all achieve if we truly believed in ourselves and stopped feeding our subconscious all that negative junk? And it's not just about achieving our dreams either. The book says that even wealth is more about mindset than hard work. They share this anecdote about a high-paid executive. He attributed his success to this unwavering belief in his own worth. He didn't work any longer hours than anyone else. He just believed he deserved to be wealthy. It's like maybe we are all focusing on the wrong things when it comes to success. What if our thoughts and beliefs are the real key? But there's more. The book also talks about how our subconscious mind can reveal answers and guide us. There's this story about a man who couldn't find his father's will anywhere. Then one night he has this dream where he's shown exactly where to look. He wakes up, goes straight to that spot, and boom, there it is. It's like sometimes the answers are already within us, hidden in our subconscious, just waiting to be uncovered.
Yeah.
So we've seen so far that our subconscious mind is this incredibly powerful force that's constantly shaping our reality. It's always listening to our thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and using that information to create our experiences. It's like we are the programmers, and our subconscious is the computer faithfully executing the code we give it. But here's the good news. If we can learn to consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs we feed our subconscious, we can literally reprogram our lives. But how do we do that? What are the practical steps to actually change our subconscious programming? Well, that's what we'll be diving into next. Stick around. All right, so we've seen how powerful our subconscious mind is, how it's always shaping our reality based on what we feed it. But how do we actually rewrite those blueprints? How do we get rid of all that negative programming and install a brand new operating system for success and happiness? Lucky for us, the power of your subconscious mind, it doesn't just drop this mind-blowing concept and leave us hanging. It actually gives us some practical techniques we can use to tap into this power. One of the most interesting ones I came across is called the passing over technique. It's this idea that instead of, getting all worked up and trying to force a solution with your conscious mind, like obsessing over a problem, you just like pass it over to your subconscious. It's kind of like giving a complex equation to a supercomputer and letting it do its thing.
Yeah.
You trust that it has the processing power to figure it out, and then you just let it go. No more mental wrestling matches. But the book also emphasizes the importance of being specific with our subconscious mind. Like vague wishes and hopes, they just don't cut it. We need to get crystal clear on what we want and really visualize it as if it's already happened. Like really feel the emotions, see the details, make it real in your mind's eye. The book gives this example of a woman who was going through this nasty legal battle. She's stressed out, couldn't sleep, the whole 9 yards. So she starts using this visualization technique every night before bed. She's picturing her lawyer calling to tell her the case has been settled in her favor. And guess what? A couple weeks later, the case is settled out of court exactly as she had visualized. Pretty wild, huh?
I don't know about you, that this is starting to sound a little woo-woo to me. Like, and just thinking about something really make it happen. But then I started thinking about it, We already know that our thoughts and beliefs, they shape our actions, right? Like, if you believe you're a failure, you're probably not going to put much effort into achieving your goals. If you believe you're not worthy of love, you might unconsciously sabotage your relationships. So if our thoughts and beliefs can have such a powerful impact on our actions, isn't it logical that they could also influence, like, the events and circumstances that unfold in our lives? I mean, it's kind of like that law of attraction idea. But maybe it's not just about attracting things. Maybe it's more about aligning our reality with our dominant beliefs. So let's say you're buying into this idea, you want to start using the power of your subconscious to create the life you want. Where do you even begin? Well, the book suggests a few simple but powerful techniques. One of them is using affirmations. Basically, you choose a positive statement that reflects what you want to experience, and you repeat it to yourself regularly. The key here is to really feel the truth of the affirmation as you're saying it. It's not just about mindlessly repeating words you know. It's about cultivating a deep, unwavering belief in what you're affirming. Like if you want to be more confident, you might affirm, I am confident and capable. The book also suggests using visualizations along with affirmations. So you're not just saying the words, but you're also picturing yourself as confident, feeling that confidence radiating from you. And the more you practice this, the more you're training your subconscious to accept this new belief. It's like planting a seed in your mind and nurturing it until it blossoms into reality. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, affirmations, visualizations, it all sounds a little too self-helpy for me, right? But here's the thing. This book isn't just some new age fluff. It's grounded in solid research and principles of psychology. And honestly, the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much sense it makes. Think about it. We are constantly bombarded with messages from the outside world, from the media, from other people telling us what to believe about ourselves and the world. But what if we could reclaim that power? What if we could consciously choose the beliefs we want to embody and use our subconscious to manifest them into reality? It's pretty powerful stuff, right? It's not just some abstract concept either. Did you know that scientists have been using the power of the subconscious to make groundbreaking discoveries for centuries? They'll get stuck on a problem, let it go, and then bam, the solution just pops into their mind seemingly out of nowhere. It's like their subconscious mind was working on the problem in the background, and then when the conscious mind was quiet, it was able to deliver the answer. It's pretty remarkable, right? And it's not just scientists either. Artists, musicians, writers, they all tap into this subconscious wellspring of creativity. And speaking of creativity, did you know that our subconscious is super active while we're sleeping? That's why people often wake up with solutions to problems they've been struggling with, or even get amazing creative ideas in their dreams. It's like our subconscious mind is this wise, all-knowing guide that we can access if we just create the right conditions. And one of the best ways to do that is through sleep. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about the duality of the mind, the subconscious as a book of life, the power of belief, and some practical techniques for tapping into this incredible force. But there's one more piece of the puzzle I want to explore. The role of the subconscious in our relationships. Because let's be real, relationships can be messy, complicated, and often bring up a whole lot of subconscious baggage. So how can understanding the power of the subconscious help us navigate the ups and downs of love connection, and maybe even heal some of those deep-seated wounds that keep us from experiencing truly fulfilling relationships? I'll stick around for part 3 and we'll dive into that. All right, so we've seen how our subconscious mind can shape, like our reality and our success, and even help us solve problems. But what about our relationships? Those messy, complicated, often wonderful, sometimes heartbreaking connections with other human beings. Well, the power of your subconscious mind
This book dives into this too. And it suggests that our subconscious beliefs about ourselves and relationships, they actually attract certain types of people and experiences into our lives.
It's kind of like our subconscious is setting the stage, and then the players arrive, acting out the script we've unknowingly written. So, for example, if you subconsciously believe you're not worthy of love, you might unconsciously sabotage your relationships or even attract partners who reinforce that belief. It's like you're sending out these invisible signals, and the people who resonate with those signals are drawn to you. But here's the good news. If you cultivate like a deep sense of self-love and you believe you deserve to be in a healthy, fulfilling relationship, you're more likely to attract a partner who aligns with those beliefs. It's like changing the channel, tuning into a different frequency where love, respect, and mutual understanding are the main themes. Now I know what you're thinking. What about all that baggage from past relationships? Those old hurts and resentments that can weigh us down. Well, the book suggests that we can actually use the power of our subconscious to heal those wounds too. It's not about like erasing the past or pretending it didn't happen. It's about consciously addressing those wounds, forgiving ourselves and others, and reframing those experiences with more positive perspective. And this allows us to release that negative emotional charge and create space for healthier, more loving connections in the present. And speaking of baggage, one of the most fascinating concepts the book explores is this idea of inner talking, that ongoing conversation we have with ourselves in our heads. Sometimes it's supportive and encouraging, and sometimes it's like a constant stream of self-criticism and doubt. Well, the book argues that this inner dialogue, it actually impacts the way other people respond to us. Like if you're constantly putting yourself down or feeling insecure, those negative vibes, they kind of radiate outwards and people can sense it. It's like you're broadcasting this message of, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that message often gets received, loud and clear. But on the flip side, if you cultivate a positive inner dialogue, speak to yourself with kindness and encouragement and focus on your strengths, those positive vibes are going to shine through and people will be drawn to your energy. It's like you're just exuding confidence and self-assurance, even if you don't necessarily feel it all the time. And this makes sense, right? Think about the people you're drawn to, the ones who just seem to light up a room. It's not necessarily about their looks or their accomplishments. It's about the energy they project. And that energy is largely shaped by their subconscious beliefs and inner dialogue. So how do we change this inner conversation? Well, the book suggests a few techniques. And one of the most powerful is, you guessed it, affirmations. By consciously choosing positive, empowering statements and repeating them to ourselves regularly, we can start to reprogram our subconscious mind. And we can shift our inner dialogue, toward a more loving, supportive tone. And the cool thing is, this doesn't just benefit our relationships, it can transform our entire lives. When we learn to treat ourselves with kindness and respect, we naturally show up differently in the world. We're more confident, more resilient, and more capable of attracting the people and experiences that align with our true worth. Now, I know all this might sound a little too good to be true. Like, can simply changing our thoughts really have such a profound impact on our relationships and overall happiness? It's a big claim, right? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized how much power we give away by letting our subconscious just run on autopilot. We allow our past experiences, our fears, our limiting beliefs to just dictate our present and future. But what if we could reclaim that power? What if we could consciously choose the thoughts and beliefs that shape our reality and use the power of our subconscious mind to create the relationships and the life we truly desire? That's a pretty exciting possibility, isn't it? And it all starts with becoming aware of the thoughts and beliefs we're holding on to, challenging the ones that no longer serve us, and making a conscious effort to cultivate a more positive, empowering inner world. Because ultimately, our relationships are a reflection of our relationship with ourselves. When we learn to love and accept ourselves fully flaws, and all, we create the foundation for deeper, more fulfilling connections with others. So that wraps up our deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind. Hopefully you've gleaned some insights and maybe even a few practical tools to start experimenting with. Remember, you have the power to choose the thoughts and beliefs that shape your reality. And when you align your conscious mind with the limitless potential of your subconscious, well, let's just say the possibilities are truly infinite.